Hello, and welcome, dear viewers, to ISKRA's television's first ever TV show, the Federation's Late Night Catch Up. This show will be us talking about all things related to our Federation. Whatever happens, we'll cover it every single week. A new Federation changing bill, we'll talk about it. A new league changing reforms, we'll talk about that as well. An issue that deeply concerns you, well, you can be invited to talk about that as well. And for our first episode, we have invited the Minister of Mass Media, also known as ISKRA, to discuss her appointment and plans for the ministry. Now, Minister Dre, how are you doing today?
Doing quite finely. It's kind of raining outside, but not too much. So that's all.
Yeah. Rain is like, calming when you're indoors and stuff. Because I like the sound of the rain, personally. Now, let's start with our interview, shall we? Before you entered ISKRA, what was your experience in the Federation, and how did you progress through the ministry over time?
Well, first off, in my area of career, before I joined the ISKRA, I was heavily involved with the 90th Airborne Division, which was a heavily focused combat in the military. Not exactly the same as it is currently now, but it still has some of the aspects that it once had.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed with them for a long time until I eventually had to resign due to my increasing responsibility in ISKRA.
Ah, okay. Did you have any plans of becoming high command in the military?
Well, I don't really have any plans that much.
Okay.
At best, I would foresee like a colonel, which I had become. But being a high command in the military seems a little too much, and perhaps it was a good thing that I became high command in ISKRA because the government side is much more relaxing at much slow pace.
Mm-hmm. That's understandable. Let's move on to our next question. Were there any notable people who helped you on your journey to minister?
Well, if I had to summarize it quickly enough, it would have to be mainly the leadership. Most most notably, the ISKA leadership before me, like Emma Santiago, who helped promoted me to adjunct director when I was still an NCO, and then Cal Santiago, who eventually took over Emma left, and then later Jack Sub, and then here I am. There are also other notable people and acquaintances that I have made during my time in ISKRA, but they are mostly either have moved on and stuff or gone to other places.
Okay. Well, if any of you people who are watching that were just mentioned, if you guys are watching, shout out to you for helping Dre become a minister. Carrying on, can you tell us a little about what the ministry's function is?
Right, so the ministry current function is, as the name implied, we are the state-run media office. We're currently we currently aims at producing the newspaper and broadcasting radio inform through the information channels that we have. Also using the Twitter account. Aside from that, we also have the graphical departments like Agitprop and also this television branch that deals with the televised shows, videos to be uploaded on the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. That's quite interesting. A lot of work I see. And what about you? What are your day-to-day duties within the ministry? Are they challenging? And how does your work affect the ministry?
If relating to just the ministry alone, most of the time I wake up and then check the channels. Firstly to see if there are any direct messages that have been sent over to me, and then look into the ISKRA Discord and check any pings. Most of the pings that I get are just events, but if they do be something like a mass ping from ISKRA, something like that, I do try to check them, even if they're non-essential. And also try to lead the announcement that are made in each branches. and occasionally try to read any newspaper news new messages that pops up.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Now, in your expert opinion, how do you think ISKRA has been performing lately?
This guy has been performing finely. The number count is relatively normal. Just if I recall correctly, we just reached around 50 members recently, which is
Congratulations.
quite decent. Activity-wise, it differs from branch to branch, and we can't exactly give a certain answer for that. But if I have to give a general opinion, it, it would have to be functional, operational, and good.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great. Uh, if any of you people who are watching this show currently, if you're interested in ISKRA, be sure to stick until the end. And speaking of which, what is the process of a new recruit entering the ministry?
Well, there are around 2 to 3 ways which you can enter ISKRA. First is a general application form, which is used by the administration branch to allow others in the public to apply for ISKRA if they don't have the time to attend the recruitment sessions, which are the other way to get accepted. The recruitment sessions are usually hosted by the radio branch mainly, but the journalism branch do host some of them occasionally if they do need the numbers. I can't exactly remember the last time the other branches like the ISKRA or television have hosted a recruitment session.
Oh, okay.
But after they get accepted, they usually go for some kind of candidacy stages or process that the director of the branch makes sure that the people accepted can can be accustomed to working within the branch and get used to it.
Oh, okay. Like a trial period.
Something like that. Something like a process that to screen out people that may not exactly be suited for the work.
Ah, okay, okay. And what advice would you give anyone planning on joining ISKRA?
Well, if I have to give any advice, I would like to say that our ministry is a slow pace kind of work. We're not exactly too demanding, but it's also important that you don't exactly go inactive for like a very long time, like a 2 weeks or 3 week. We do demand some kind of activity, but the community here is also nice.
Mm-hmm.
We don't exactly have that much of a community event, but you could always try to talk in ISKA launch and engage with the community. There's always something new or trivial things every day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. And like for your plans in general, and you and your high command, what plans are there for ISKRA in the future? What direction is it heading in?
I don't exactly have a general idea of how ISKA will go in the future. Currently, I only plans to make sure things are functional and looking into things how it could be improved or improvised further.
Mm-hmm.
Which currently I'm more focused on the administration side of because that does need a lot of work and they're not we don't really have much members in the branch.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Well, so you guys are just going like wherever your gut tells you to, other than like basic plans.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Just just trying to see things how we could improve it.
Yeah, yeah. I can relate with that. Now, that concludes our interview today. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed it, and as you all might know, it's our first episode, but before we end, is there something you'd like to tell our dear viewers?
Please get a pet. It's cute.
Well, that'll be all for today, folks. Join us on next episode where we have an exciting interview in store. And as usual, have a great day.